So here's a quick setup of my DIY annealer. First off, I had a little 12-inch table fan just laying around, which is kind of required. And I got me a large tackle box just to store everything, to keep everything organized. The aluminum blocks I'd recommend when I started off doing the annealer. I just use these plastic reloading blocks, which work fine for taller cases, but you start getting into shorter cases and basically it kind of starts melting the side. So, especially when you get to like the 6BR cases where they're short and fat. These are spare coils that came with the kit I'd never even used yet. And then for me, I'll just, after I get it all bent and shaped the way I want to, I'll just label it for what it's for, and then I put the timer, what I have the timer set at for at least a starting point. Then here's the actual kit. Here's the timer in the box and the annealer. So, looks like a mess. I had all kinds of cords on here. But how I set it up, first off I plug in the box, turn the timer on, then I plug in this, which starts the fan at the end. Then I'll plug in my table fan. To zoom back, here's roughly the setup: the timer box, the annealer, and the fan. And just to demonstrate how I have it set up, normally I'll line all three sides full of brass. I had to put the phone down to put this in there, but this is the one for my 223 cases. I have written down the timer set at 18 and 65. I'll just leave it at this, see what 25 and 65 do for me. Then you hit start button. And frankly, all it does is this top button is how long this is on, as long as this button is pushed. So you can hear the internal fan kick on. And it turns off. But it's not heating anything unless I'm holding this button. So now I'll put over the piece of brass. And you gotta spend, I'm not holding nothing now. You gotta spend some time getting the coil just right, spreading it so the coils don't touch each other. There's gotta be a small gap in there between all of them. Bend these up so it just sits perfectly every time, so this thing just sets on the floor. So now I will see where I'll center it in there so the brass isn't touching after it kicks off. Now I'm pushing the button here. I'll just watch to see how it anneals the first piece. Okay, 25 was a little too long, but just as a demonstration, I can let off the button at any time with my hand. Okay, holding the button now. Let off. Holding the button again. Let off. So normally I would want to turn that timer up here. It's at 25. I'd probably drop it down to 18 just so I don't have to let off the button every time, but it's nice to see when it flashes orange, I know I'm not going to over anneal it.